Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud down, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego die the politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo.
Hello there.
Ayékún ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará yìí. Ayékún Diary, lórí Facebook.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Ayékún Diary, bó bá ṣe eré, àní Máyégún máa wí. Máyégún Diary, ó sì tún ṣe eré.
Thank you so much for joining me again tonight. You know what to do. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Most especially tonight, that what we knew would happen is already happening. The propaganda machines have been activated. BBC published that there is no evidence, and that is just a tip of what is still to come. Please share the broadcast.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description as well. And then share it. Okay? Before we delve into this tonight.
Ọlọ́pàá ti darí bá ayé ẹ̀sùnra jù aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òwò ayé ẹ̀sùnra jù òwúrọ̀ olóṣèlú ayé ẹ̀sùnra jù ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra jù ayé ẹ̀sùnra jù. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ráàkì.
Thank you. I was putting on some certain stuff there, and then I almost got caught up in that. Good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun, and it is live. There are now new developments that you should be aware of. Kolu is fighting back, and he is doing so from all fronts. I didn't know this before. I knew that their loss of control over the access to information by Nigerians and the rest of the world has always been a nightmare for the clans of APC. Egbekegbe. I knew that social media was a big problem for them, but I didn't know that it is actually the biggest enemy, they called it, enemy of the federal government of Nigeria. Why? The Nigeria Broadcasting Corporation issued a statement over what they call the loss of control on what people say on the Nigeria media. Now, in Nigeria, right now, you are not allowed to discuss Tinubu's past. You are not allowed. No one is allowed to discuss about Tinubu's drug dealing in America, on Nigeria media now. You cannot discuss Tinubu's certificate on Nigeria media. You can't ask a question if you are a journalist. That seems like you are probing this current issue. Even though the resultant effects of Tinubu being president of Nigeria, the negative of that, or the negativity of that, rubs on all of us, whether you are Nigerian American, British Nigerian, Abi Nigerian British, Nigerian Canadian. You know what I'm saying, Abi? It rubs on all of us. However, this is not to be discussed. Discussing them in Nigeria is considered as an incitement of the public against the government, not against the forger. Do you get that? Do you get that narrative, Abi? So Nigeria Broadcasting Corporation has issued last warning to all the media houses in Nigeria. On this issue, you can no longer talk about them. And you can no longer talk about Tinubu in that regard. You need to wait for the Supreme Court of Nigeria to say if Tinubu forged certificates or not. But that is just on one front. The NBC said there is already a bill to regulate the social media, whereby they can just turn off the internet or the social media in Nigeria whenever they like. They can also arrest you if you post anything on social media that they consider as injurious to them. You will be tried for treason. So it is like a North Korea in West Africa right now. Do you understand that? You must be very careful of how you talk about the leader. Don't talk about his misdemeanors, his criminal past or present, or you could lose your life, or, fair enough, maybe your liberty. Now, that promotion has to come with a bill that will turn to a law. They are making law that will criminalize criticizing Tinubu. But from my own experience, APC, Egbekegbe, if not because of their crudity, because they are very crude, violent, and heartless, human lives means nothing to them. It's just statistics. You know what I mean? If not because of their crudity, APC Egbekegbe is so inefficient in almost everything. Talk about bad governance. That is their kind of, A1. Then talk about corruption. I mean, people have been looting and stealing in Nigeria. Not with so much brazen lunacy that these guys are doing it. It's more or less like they've legalized it. You just have to belong to the right group before you can commit those crimes. When it comes to rigging, they have been rigging election in Nigeria that people are saying rigging. It came to that of APC, Egbekegbe. It became something that is about to throw Nigeria into an everlasting flame. And they are the ones holding the matches and the gasoline. They are so terrible in the way they deal with the people that rather than people, the same people that were cheering them on in 2015, the same people have now grown to loathe them. Some people actually hate them with passion. They failed in everything, but they kept the seal of violence, lies, manipulation and fraud, and violence too, violence. They kept those. And that is why they always kind of create an alternative reality for themselves. And in this alternate world that they have always been living in, the ones that told them and kind of assured them that being poor is in fact a privilege. You should be grateful that you are poor. Because being poor means you are living within your means. Alternative world. And I knew it. When you bring facts before them, they will be using their own alternative imaginations. And then they will be telling you, they don't have a right to their own opinion. You have right to your own opinion. I have right to my own opinion. Why you okay? Here is it. When the APC, the way they are kind of programmed, the young and the old, they work the same way. It is the same pattern. When you present facts, video, picture, every evidence, they will tell you that what if all of this evidence, what if they are not true? Listen to this. They agree these are evidence, okay. But what if there is another one? And you are like, okay, you don't know another one. You don't have another one. This is the available one. This is the one that is contrary to what is presented. And then they will tell you, listen, I agree with you that you have yours because everybody is having this. So in their own alternate world, there must be another one. So in that world, APC, Egbekegbe already filled that blank for their ass lickers, ombud slaves. So in the case of Tinubu and the forfeiture of 460,000 US dollars to the American government because of heroin trading and trafficking, in order for it is called a plea bargaining, that he managed to escape jail. When they were caught and when they were presented with evidence, you know what they said? They said, how come he's not in jail? And you are like, but have you heard anything about plea bargaining? The same one that allowed them to release the rest of $1.8 million to him by just taking out $460,000 because the law in America said they cannot take a fine, right? That is, more than so and so. And they were like, but he didn't go to jail. The fact that he didn't go to jail simply means it was a civil matter. So the deflection from the president of Nigeria being mentioned in an American DEA investigation of heroin trafficking in Chicago, in America, is being mentioned there, his address, his bank account, where he was transferring all those money. All the evidence were there. But in their own alternative world, why is he not in jail? So far, he didn't go to jail. Means America. Because America could have extradited him now. So that means it wasn't a serious case then. Do you get that? So that's simply what? Watered that drug dealing, what have you down. Okay? Then he came to this Chicago State University, University of Chicago. Majority of those that are standing to defend Tinubu today, if you trace majority of them to 20 years ago, they were as alarmed as so many of you are today, that there could be people standing up, defending the fraud, as much as evidence presented before everyone. Majority of those who are defending him today, 20 years ago, they were so shocked like you. 24 years ago, they were so surprised like you. It was a criminal to them. But fast forward to 24 years after that, they didn't even bother to check the lie they told them 24 years ago. That forgery of 24 years ago, that they have changed a lot from that lie to something different now. Now, that something different today is that since Chicago State University said there was a Bola A. Tinubu that attended, the rest doesn't matter anymore. The people that said, Tinubu that told you that he personally requested for his own certificate, and Chicago State University gave that to him directly. He didn't mention third party. The same people changed the story to, oh, he got it through a third party. They did not mention the name of the third party. Okay? Oh, he got it through the third party. Chicago State University came and they said, we never used third party. That is a fact during the deposition, right? Okay, what happened to the certificate he is holding? We did not give that to him. That is also in the deposition, which is to establish that the certificate Tinubu presented, maybe he has original somewhere else. So maybe if he has to write officially to them now, they will give him original certificate too. But the question, the crime here is that he presented a forged certificate that he said he got from Chicago State University. Chicago State University said, we did not issue any certificate to him. And that deposition is right there, boldly written in black and white. But in the effort of APC, my dear people, BBC, we are going to get to that of the BBC soon. But before this BBC own, since NBC has already warned people from talking about it on TV and radio, that is called media blackout. It means the real people in Nigeria, they will never know the real thing except what they are told. The same people who said Tinubu had the right to go and design his own certificate on Nigeria TV, lying on fake news. They actually came with another new thing 2 days ago. I don't know if you have heard that. They said, even Atiku, now forger. Remember what I said about deflection? Tinubu is the president of Nigeria now. All over the world, people are asking every one of you, they meet questions. Is it true that your president was a former drug dealer? Oh, is it true that your president forged his certificate? Oh, is it true? You know all of that. Some of you have encountered those people wherever you are living all over the world right now. All right? You know what that is, Abi? So it is Tinubu that has brought shame upon Nigeria. But APC are saying the shame is not just Tinubu that is bringing shame. We agree that Tinubu has brought a disgrace, embarrassment on Nigerians all over the world. But even Atiku himself get case. Atiku stole somebody's certificates in 1963. And you're just going to be like, okay, what do you want us to do with that? No, let us not be biased. Let us be at least balanced. Alaye, I'm asking you a question. I'm not asking you to be shaking your head or shaking your hands. What do you want us to do with Atiku? stealing somebody's certificate. Because Atiku also want to be president. All of you, the same energy that you are using on Atiku, you're on Tinubu, use the same energy on Atiku too. Okay, now let's go and try that then. What do you have for us on Atiku? They now publish these things. This is the graphically designed propaganda. Just to let you know that even Atiku self, himself no pure. We all know Atiku is a criminal. Is part of the fraudulent criminal gang that brought Nigeria to where we are today. We are not absolving him. We just want all of you to destroy yourselves. Okay? And while you are doing that, while you are going at it, please at least be honest. Don't put up lies to deflect, okay? Now, this is what they put up about Atiku for the past 48 hours. They wanted to justify Tinubu's forgery. Okay? They said many names of Atiku. He stole somebody's identity. Primary school, he was called Atiku Kojoli. Secondary school, Atiku Abubakar. WAEC, Siddiq Abubakar. Diploma, Atiku Abubakar. Who is the real Atiku Kojoli Siddiq Abubakar? APC. Egbekegbe. Now, normally, this shouldn't even matter to you. It's irrelevant. Do you get that now? But okay. If that is the case, then let us go and check Atiku. Oh yeah, what do you have to say about it? Who is Siddiq Kojoli or whatever it is? Because Tinubu has agreed that he forged this certificate on one hand. And you too, you also stole somebody's identity. So there is allegation, there is a fact to back that Tinubu stole somebody's identity. Identity theft. Let me tell you all of these things against Tinubu. Tinubu presented a certificate to INEC in Nigeria as somebody that he is not, with conflicting date of birth. Now, in the process of investigating that, they discovered that Tinubu that went to Chicago State University was a girl, okay? And the Tinubu that is the president of Nigeria today never came to their school. They have no record of him per se, other than where it was written that in his transcript, this Tinubu needed to go back and sit for English and mathematics, which are necessary subjects for you to gain admission to Chicago State University. You didn't sit for them. You need to go back if you want us to give you a certificate. His own transcripts show that this Tinubu in Nigeria possibly stole somebody's identity. That is why he couldn't go directly to the Chicago State University and collect his original certificate without any error. And he can easily present that to everybody and say, listen, I lost my certificate also here, but so far I could go to America. The last time I was in the US, I just went straight to the Chicago State University and I asked them, their registrar, and I paid $26 and I got the new certificate because my record, everything is there. So all of this noise would never have existed. But because in 1999, this Tinubu submitted a record to INEC that he went to University of Chicago and he graduated with in Bachelor's of Degree Honors or degree in Bachelor's of Degree. Anyway, Bachelor's in Economics or whatever. This was Chicago State University. That was what Tinubu told INEC in 1999 that led to the first forgery case. In this 2023, this Tinubu that told INEC in 1999 that he went to Government College Ibadan, is now telling this INEC in 2023 that he went to Chicago State University. In 1999, it was University of Chicago. In 2023, it's Chicago State University. Do you understand that now? So he presented lies and is possibly stolen somebody's identity. So they are now accusing Atiku of stealing somebody's identity. Inote, Atiku just shared some images like, listen, now my mama be this. Now my schoolmate be this. Now my yearbook in secondary school be this. Now my colleague when at the college be this or whatever. Now on the right, this is the affidavit where when I joined custom and I submit the affidavit to tell them that I have changed my name, all the documents, all the documents remain valid. But from now on, I want to be addressed as Atiku Abubakar. And he stated his reasons there. What is changing? He brought out the evidence of that affidavit. This affidavit was done in 1973. He's changed his name since 1967 or so. Now, if Atiku don't show evidence, now if you ask Tinubu for evidence now, they go begin to abuse your father. They ask about your mother. The lunatics. They'll begin to tell you your papa no fit be like Tinubu, your mama no fit be Kinikon, Tinubu will be your president, because they have nothing to show. Absolute nothing. And that is why the Archet job to ensure that they plant the doubts in your mind all over the place from the original issue. What is the original issue? The registrar for Chicago State University said they did not issue the fraudulent certificates that Tinubu presented in Nigeria. Okay? They did not issue it. And they do not have any third party that issue certificate on their behalf. He categorically stated that under oath, which means he cannot lie. If he should lie to defend Tinubu, he will not only lose his job, he will go to jail. This is the original transcript of Caleb Westberg, the Chicago State University registrar. These facts have now been twisted. And those leading the charge, they are Nigerians who are working for BBC. This afternoon, these three young people, Chiagozie Fred, Unwonwu, Olaronke Alo, Fozia Tucker, these three chaps wrote a deceitful, misleading, and completely false narrative in the minds of the global readers by telling the world there is no evidence that Tinubu forged the certificate is submitted to INEC. And from their narrative, the three of them perfectly, successfully manufactured a different narrative from what actually happened that is factual. The fact that Tinubu submitted a forged certificate that template was taken from Pinterest, redesigned, did some Google searches, and put on the signature of somebody that was yet to be appointed as president of the university. On that same certificate, Tinubu also fraudulently imposed on his certificate the title of honors and whatever, and at the same time added the signature of somebody who was called the head of board of trustees. Meanwhile, back in the University of, Chicago State University themselves, they have procedure that students who actually attended their schools should never found in any way difficult to reorder their own certificates for the diploma. So in the conversation, you have what is it a diploma certificate or is it a degree certificate or whatever it is? Nobody is rightly sure. But you see those trio who were APC, best supporters themselves. If you have Nwonwu on your Facebook, you can tell his position on the political conversation in the country. The same Nwonwu was dropping snippets on social media already, undermining the allegations against Tinubu. Now, this is the guy on the left, Chiagozie Fred Nwonwu, BBC correspondent in Nigeria, APC, what do you call it, Buhari Chuku, a bat idiot that all of us who are paying taxes in the UK are being funded to mislead the public. BBC, those trio, in their own, in their article that they presented as no evidence, they said Caleb Westberg, in his deposition, said Tinubu's, the university, Chicago State University does not keep record of students who request for the replacement of their lost certificates. Therefore, since they don't keep record of when people requested for their reorder of their certificates, you cannot say Tinubu then forged it, because Tinubu cannot present evidence that he requested for it. Do you understand that creation of a new narrative there? That it is true that Caleb Westberg said they did not issue the certificate. But the same Caleb Westberg said, from the certificate evidence that they gave to Atiku, which were certificates that were redesigned for 1990s, and some of them look like the certificate that Tinubu presented to INEC, okay? That if they photocopied the copy of the certificate presented to INEC by Tinubu, if you look at the full copy, you will realize that it is similar. That's what BBC are saying, It is similar to the certificate given to Chicago State University students in 1990s. So if Tinubu requested for a new certificate in the 1990s, and the certificate he got is designed like the new ones. So if the Chicago State University said they don't keep record of students who requested for their new certificates, then you cannot say Tinubu did not request for it. You cannot say Chicago State University did not give him the certificate. You cannot say that certificate Tinubu is parading is fake then, because Tinubu cannot show that he requested for it. That is their own theory. Also, the theory where the Chicago State University said they still have a copy of Tinubu's certificate from 1979 that wasn't picked up, because that Tinubu that attended their school needed to go and receipt some examination, some subjects, before they can issue the certificate. Therefore, he didn't come back, or she didn't come back to pick it, that they still have that copy. And that copy is different from what Tinubu also have. Now, whether it is a reprinted copy or not, the point here is this. That will be a second reason to show that they did not give him any certificate. But you see this BBC is now saying, listen, you cannot call it fake simply because Tinubu cannot prove to you that the vendor that is, and because Chicago State University said they don't have vendors or any third party. But the same Chicago State University also said they don't keep record. So what if Tinubu requested and they gave it to him and he took that to Nigeria, but Chicago State University have no record when he came? So how can you then say it is fake? Do you understand that narrative? They planted that in their mind, and a lot of people will be like, that's what I'm saying. All these people, they cannot listen. Chicago State University are not denying the certificate because they cannot prove that they gave it to him or they didn't. Go and read BBC report. There is no evidence that Tinubu forged it, but there is evidence. There is evidence. You cannot forge what you have. You cannot forge what is yours. You can't. You can only forge what you don't have. And that is why it was easily spotted. And it was a joke all over the world right now. And they needed. You have heard that of BBC, Abi? You are going to hear from, what do you call it? You're going to read from New York Times. You're going to see some of them on CNN. They are going to be quoting all of this. So Nigerians who were so surprised that young people could allow themselves in the name of journalism to try to whitewash a criminal that a lot of your parents possibly have told you about, and you use your profession, taxpayers' money. BBC doesn't really make money in the UK. I live here, and I can tell you this. And I'm actually still personally concerned that I am paying a TV license in the UK. TV license in the UK here to pay the salaries of BBC workers. Both those who are here in the UK and all over the world. And I'm now watching the same BBC using their platform to change a narrative of something that they are already profiling us for. The UK government is already profiling Nigerians. Due to this political reality in Nigeria. And they are also using the taxpayers' money to promote a propaganda, to create a different narrative that will go side by side with facts, so that people will begin to actually push that wrong narrative until they clear the drug lord. Meanwhile, everywhere Nigerian goes, you are going to profile us. You're going to screen us for what we didn't do, for the sins we have no idea, we didn't actually contribute to. A lot of us are going to be persecuted because of this latest development in Nigeria. So it ought, actually differently, that they have these people in Nigeria that they hired, who actually have their own political allegiance to APC, Egbekegbe. And they are using the BBC Africa, BBC platform to spread their propaganda, to give legitimacy. If a UK Prime Minister is accused of forging his own education certificates, is he just going to hire BBC to launder his image? Or is he just going to face the camera, face the press, and answer questions about this? Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world today. Former UK Prime Minister David Cameron said Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. That if what is being stolen from Nigeria yearly is stolen from the United Kingdom a year, United Kingdom will run and will go bankrupt within 5 years. What they actually steal from Nigeria a year